Good morning all, this is Prashanti here to continue with the Middleware Technologies Lab. Today we'll discuss about the task 3 in Middleware Technologies. So the task 3 in Middleware Technologies is all about develop an enterprise Java bean for student information system. So here you have to develop a bean for student information system. The student information system we have to develop in such a way that we can add the student details and we can retrieve the student details and you can delete the student details and exit out. So in order to develop this, these are the requirements that we need. We need to install JDK and we also need NetBeans for that. This NetBeans, you have to install the NetBeans with the Glassfish server. Okay, for NetBeans we need to install Glassfish server NetBeans. So these are the steps for developing and building and deploying EJPs. So the first one is we have to create a remote interface, and the second one is implementation class for this interface. Here we'll be creating the interface, isn't it? What do you mean by interface? You have only abstract methods. So this abstract method implementation should be written in some class. That class is here, implementation of class for this interface. That is the second step you have to do. Then the third one is you have to write the deployment descriptor. The deployment descriptor is used for connecting to the EJPs. And the fourth one is the client class. You have to write the client class application. This client class application, with this application the clients will be accessing to the bean that we have created. Next, clean, and after writing all these four programs or four files, you have to clean and build all these four files. Clean and build is compile. You have to compile all these files. If there are no errors, then you have to deploy. Deploy is what? You have to deploy your bean on the server. You have an option called deploy there. We'll see how to implement that. And next we have to run the application. These are the steps that we have to follow. So before that, going to the going how to execute and all, we'll see here how to write the programs. The first one is what? You write an interface program. I am creating my file as interface.java. In this interface.java you write what? Abstract methods. So this is the package called as my app. I am writing in this package. So here import javax.ejp.remote. This is a remote interface, isn't it? So you have to write it as remote, then java.util.list. Why do I write list? Is in order to store the student names in the form of a list. I'll be using java.util.list, and this interface here I am annotating it as a remote. That means it acts as a remote interface. So here public interface. This interface is my class interface name. And then this is the predefined one, public interface. Here I am writing three abstract methods. One is add student. I will be adding the student name. Then list get student. That means you retrieve the students from the list. That list is one kind of array. Okay, so get the student, that means retrieve the student name from the list and then delete the student name specified in this parenthesis. This is interface.java. And the next one is implement.java. Then the next one is you have what did you do? You have just created the abstract methods, isn't it? You have to implement those methods. You have to implement those. For implementing those methods, you have to write one more file called as impl.java. In this I am going to implement the methods which I have written in my interface. So this class should implement what? This class should implement that interface which I have written. Okay, so the same thing, array list, list. So I'm creating a stateless bin here. I have told you the difference between stateless and stateful in the last video. So here, this is my class. What is my class name? Class name is IMPL. What it implements? It implements the interface, which I have written in the last slide, interface. So what I am trying to implement here? So here I am trying to create a new array list. So in that list I am overriding what? I have a method called as add student there. What this add student will do? I'll be taking the student name and adding that to the student list. The student list is what? Student list is the list which stores all the names that are added. And the next one is delete student. Delete student is what? Delete student is the name which we specify here in a student in the parenthesis. That student will be removed from the student list. Okay, then the next method is get student. This get student, whatever the whenever you try to get the student record, then the all the list, all the student names that are present in this list will be returned. This is the implementation of that interface. And the third step is what? Writing the deployment descriptor. So this deployment descriptor will be an XML file. Okay, since the middleware files will be written in XML, right? So this whenever you create a deployment descriptor file, the abstract deployment descriptor file will be already opened. We'll see in the implementation. So here you need to write the implementation class and also your project name, the whole project name, week 3. With these two, with the help of using these two, our files will be accessed to the EJB. Then next fourth one is what? You have to write the client class. Client class is what? This is the class where we will be interacting with the remote server. Will be client is what? Client is we will be searching for a service by using this class. Right, so here these are all the import statements that we need. So here you need all the util properties, then initial dot context. I'll tell you what is this initial context. Then portable remote object, then array list scanner class in order to scan the values from the keyboard. Look here, and my class name is main. This is the client main class. Now here initial context C is equal to initial context. Now here for interface we cannot create any objects, isn't it? In order to create an object for this interface, I am taking this initial context object. Using that initial context object, initial content object, I will be creating the object for this interface, and I am looking for what? I am looking for the module called as week 3. This is my project name. Where, what is this week 3? This is where the student implementation is present. So I am looking for the student implementation list, right? And this is the student list. Look, do. So here just I am writing a switch case, 1 for add, 2 for delete, 3 for get, and 4 for exit. So whenever I enter add means what? Add one. Whenever in order to get the input from the keyboard 1, 2, 3 or 4, I am using a scanner class for that. Then whatever the input that I give, that is stored in CH. By using that switch case, I am writing the program. If I enter 1, that is add the student data. So enter the student name. Whatever I enter the student name, that is stored in the name, and that name is added to the student list. Right? If I enter 2, then I want to delete. I will be entering the name which I have to delete. Then that name will be will be deleted from the student list by using this delete student method. This method will be called in turn. Next, if you want to get the student list, that is enter all you have. If you want to display the student list, then you enter the name. then get the student list. Here I am using the for loop. This for loop this for loop will retrieve all the student data from the student list. Will retrieve each and every student data, and then all those student data, student names will be displayed, and 4 for exit. Right? This is how these are the programs that we use in order to implement the student information system. Okay, so to altogether how many programs or how many files you have to write? First you have to write the remote interface, then you have to implement this remote interface, then you need to write deployment descriptor, then you need to write the client class. After writing the client class, you compile all these 4 files, then you deploy your bean onto the server, then run. Okay, we'll see that